Okay, welcome to the overview of work experience. Now, I'm going to talk a lot about work experience. I've got a lot of chapters coming up on that. I wanted to address this point first, and that is, shouldn't I be focusing on my studies? Well, yes, of course you should. Yes. And look, that should be a priority, right? Especially given the amount of money you're paying. Typically, you or parents or others are contributing. So yes, you want to try and get the best result you can. But please recognize, if you're looking outside and seeing it's quite a difficult work environment, this is why I'm suggesting work experience whilst you're at university is something to be focused on as well. Now, it's unfortunate I'm saying as well. Yes, right. It would be ideal if you pop out of university and then there's a huge market for you. The challenge is you're probably going to be fighting it out and competing with others. So how can we best position you for that competition? And this is where work experience can play a key role. And I'm interacting with lots of students postgraduate. So students that have come out of university already and they are finding it very difficult and, if anything, incredibly unfair. These are the comments I'm seeing a lot from individuals because they're saying, well, these graduate roles or these roles I'm applying for, it says you need experience. And I say, yeah. And they go, but that's unfair. I mean, I've been studying. Yeah. And there's not much more to say, right? It's very difficult reality, okay? So yes, focus on studies, okay? If you're agreeing with me, right, and if you're looking out into market and seeing it's not a very good environment, generally speaking, for graduates, there is a lot of competition, then I think please also consider work experience. Now, look, I'm going to cover the following topics. I'm going to look at formal internships as work experience. That's where lots of big companies do arranged internships. That's where you've applied, and it's a very particular program that many big companies will offer internships in the spring, in the summer, and so on. There's also informal internships, we'll talk about as well. Then I want to look at finding relevant local experience. So I am a big proponent of working with startups or small companies nearby your university so that you can get practical, very relevant experience as soon as you can. So I'll talk about that. I'll talk about how to approach those local startups as well. I want to also cover university societies. They can be a really good source of work experience. And then I'd like to talk about work experience and student jobs, because some individuals are fortunate enough to be able to say, oh, I'm just focusing on my studies. Great. Others, not so much. Others have to work. So if you're having to pay your way through university, as many are, how can you pitch and position your work experience correctly on your CV for best advantage? Because often when you're a student, you might be working a bar job, a restaurant job. Sometimes those roles can be considered less relevant or irrelevant because you're trying to take a career or create a career in this industry or that industry. But there are some techniques and things to be thinking about there. And so I'll go into detail there. Right, stand by. I just wanted to give you a little overview of work experience before we jump in and cover that point on, look, it's unfortunate that we're talking about work experience when really, theoretically speaking, university should be all about studying. Actually, I think it's really important to prepare by getting relevant experience as soon as you can. Okay, let's move on.